Welcome back, you guys. I hope you're having a great morning, a great start to your day. I'm in EFC, this is Blue Line CV, and today I'm here to bring you guys another news daily video. Now this time, I'm going to focus on 5 stories today. Next season's away kit, which has been officially announced and revealed today. I'll be speaking about the future of Jorginho. I'm also going to let you guys know about a certain left back that the club are actively monitoring at this point in time. So you guys are going to learn his name, learn a bit about the player, so stay tuned for that. And to end things, I'll be speaking about the latest news surrounding Kai Havertz. So this is going to be another big video. I'm going to make sure to speed through things because I know we all have things to do, things running our life before the game starts at 6 PM against Crystal Palace. So I hope you guys enjoy, and if you do, smash that like button. I want to get over 3,000 likes for today's video. And without wasting any more time, we start with the first story today, and I think it's best we start with the new away kit that got officially revealed and announced earlier this morning. Now, as you guys can see on screen, the reveal was officially announced on the club's official website. As it says here, fresh look for Chelsea's Young Lions, and this is the new away kit for next season. Now, the great news is we'll see the team wear this kit tonight against Crystal Palace, so you guys can get a better understanding and opinion of how it fits, how it looks like, and whether you decide to buy it or not. But I'm going to continue down. As it says here, new away kit marries modern colours with London fashion heritage. And, you know, as I've been stressing quite a lot, I've got the impression that we've been really inspired by the history of the geography of the stadium and the club. You know, traditionally in West London, it's always been seen as a very stylish part of London, you know, a very, fashion capital part of London too. And I like the design. I do like these little details on the main kit. I like the little, how do you best describe that? These little, slashes on the kit. I think it gives it a little bit of something. And most importantly, I like the collar that's used. You know, I like the V-neck collars. I think it looks quite cool. And I think I'm going to end up buying this as well. Now, for me, I feel like the 3 logo is starting to not look as severe as it first looks. And I think that was the case because this was like our first ever impression to really get an idea of how it was going to look like. But I think it was the right decision to make it transparent and see-through, so it's not too much of an eyesore and it doesn't take up too much of the overall shirt as well. So for me, it's not becoming as bad anymore. I think this kit looks quite fire actually, and yeah, already I'm getting quite excited. You know, here's a closer inspection of the details and the design for the new away shirt. I think it looks quite good, quite modern. As it states here, the club have announced that today we are going to wear this kit against Crystal Palace, but if you're planning on buying it right now, you have to wait until the end of the month because the official launch date isn't going to come until the 30th of July. So there you guys was the official announcement of the away kit. How do you like it? How do you find it? Make sure to comment your thoughts and opinions. Is this a kit you like? Are you feeling it, or are you a bit uninspired and you don't like it as much? State your reasons why and comment below. I now think it's time we move on to the second story today, and this is going to focus on Jorginho and the latest news surrounding him with a potential move to Juventus. Now, this is a big report. This is very interesting. It came out literally very early this morning, and it's coming out from Italy, from Tuttosport. Now, they claim that Juventus are planning to buy Jorginho in the exact similar manner in which they signed Cuadrado from us. Now, if you guys need the backstory for that, Cuadrado agreed a 3-year loan with Juventus. It was a long-term loan deal. The deal worked out at around 5 million per season, and once his loan spell ended, we received more money from the deal, taking the total value earned to 25 million, basically us recouping the same amount of money we originally paid for Juan Cuadrado. So in that sense, I've always thought that this was the most logical approach to take. I always got the impression that Juventus might go down a very similar manner because in our case, the issue we have is that Jorginho is a very niche player. There's not many teams across the world that need a player of his abilities and his role. So if Juventus currently wants him, this is the perfect time to strike a deal. So if Juventus want him right now, this is the perfect time to strike a deal and sell Jorginho to Juventus. There was a pretty funny quote from Paratici. He basically said this: listen, if you want a house but you can't afford it, you rent. So apply those same principles to buying players. If you want a player that you can't buy, rent him out, and then pay for his full fee later on. To me, they sound like words from a guy that constantly bangs out Football Manager. We're all using those same tactics and approach. I mean, that's how it goes. But getting back to the story, the article does imply that this is still early negotiations. Right now, Juventus, they're still hoping to offer a player in exchange. It seems like they're now not offering us any of their fodder players. It seems like Rabiot and Aaron Ramsey are the two main players that could be offered. So in that sense, it does make a lot more sense because they are both box-to-box midfield players. And right now, Lampard is building a team that has box-to-box mids being the entire centre and focus. So yes, they could work with us, but do we need another box-to-box midfield player? I don't think so, you guys. It seems that if we do agree to loaning Jorginho out to Juventus, we would want between 40 to 45 million in total once that loan spell is over to recoup all the money we originally spent to buy Jorginho in the first place. So I see this deal working out for both parties, and most times when a deal works out for both clubs, that's when deals tend to be struck. Now earlier this morning, Alfredo Padula did come out stating that Frank Lampard does not have Jorginho in his plans, which is fairly obvious and is typical of modern day reporting. You know, we see these things with our own eyes, it's quite obvious, but you know, I guess when there's opportunities to get easy clicks, you're going to go for that. As I've stressed, we play an expansive style of attacking football, which Jorginho just doesn't complement. So if he does move on, if he is sold, this has nothing to do with Jorginho's ability as a football player, absolutely nothing. This is just how the game goes. We are playing a different tactic and style. So if that's the case, if we're moving in that direction, sometimes you have to make sacrifices. It's really that simple. And for me, I just keep getting the impression that Jorginho is definitely going to leave. If he doesn't start against Crystal Palace tonight, I think that just further cements things. So on that note, we now move on to the third story today. And I want to reveal to you guys a left back that the club have been looking at and are considering to make a purchase for. And his name is Timothy Castagne from Atalanta. Now, I get what you guys are thinking. Nini, how can we be looking at an Atalanta wing-back that isn't Gosens or Haytober? Now, I have a bit of a personal theory as to why, so make sure you stay right to the end of the story to hear my full thoughts and opinions. But I'm going to give you guys an indication to the profile of the player, how he plays the game, and what his best benefits are in particular. Now, to start off with, Castagne's best position is that right-hand side. However, he's equally adept at playing right wing-back and left wing-back too. This season for Atalanta, he's regularly acted as an understudy to both Gosens and Haytober, putting in very good performances too and keeping that same intensity and momentum a team like Atalanta needs. Castagne ranks in at 6'1", he's got very decent height, he's very fast too, and he falls in line with the profile of player that Lampard is looking at, someone that has that physical presence, the height, and the speed to match. Now, I can see why the club would actually scout Castagne and turn towards him. He is a very proactive style of defender. What I mean by that is, you know, he's going to run to aggressively press his marker, to force that turnover, to force more mistakes. And for a team like us that is a counter-pressing team, you want players comfortable in these areas because that's going to help our dominance, that's going to help us recycle possession again and kickstart more moves. Castagne also times his final third entries inside the box very well. He's the perfect type of wing-back, full-back to use for teams that focuses their attacks down the flanks and need to create overlaps and overloads in these wide areas. His crossing and dribbling ability is decent too, and in that sense, he would be a very good player if he was signed for us. Now, the question is he being targeted over your Ben Chilwells, your Tagliaficos, your Alex Telles's? No. And the reason why I say this is that there's a dead cert possibility that either one of Jorginho or Emerson are bound to leave. However, there's also a very high probability too that we could sell both Emerson and both Alonso in the same window. So if we did that, where does this leave us with our current fullback options? Down the right hand side we have Reece James, we have Azpilicueta. Down the left we could have that new potential left back signing, but we are going to be a player short in these areas. So why not sign that perfect rotational backup player that's also comfortable playing down the left hand side and the right hand side too? What makes him even more attractive is the valuation placed on his head. Rumours suggest that he could be available between 14 to 20 million pounds, which falls in line perfectly with us, and when you consider that we could sell both Emerson and Alonso for more money, signing a Castagne means that we have more profit left from their sales. So his profile suits how we play. We have a position available for the player in this team as well. I think he is pretty decent, I think he's pretty good, and he would fill that rotation role for the team that we do need. So that's the news surrounding Timothy Castagne at this point in time. We now move on to the fourth story today, and that's more news surrounding Kai Havertz. Now, there's not too much to add to today's reports. I'm sure you guys have all seen Kevin Palmer's speech stating that he feels confident that we are the favourites to sign Kai at this point in time. Of course, you guys know I do my research, I put that work in, I found nothing substantial to back those claims up, and I haven't heard anything about Kevin Palmer being known for his credibility, so this was a story that I wasn't taking too seriously. I think it's just a common sense, logical thing. I think when you realise the current situation of Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, and with the efforts, the aggressive efforts we're making to sign Kai, it's only common sense that we are currently leading the race and favourites at this point in time to make his signing a permanent. Now, the article released some new news surrounding Kai too, and to be honest, this didn't really cover any new angles or provide any new insight or any new information. All it stated was that Kai does prefer a move to London. That's that. And if you're asking me, that came across more as something that's common sense and something more subjective from the writer. The reason why I say this is that if Kai Havertz obviously has stated that he wants a London move and this was a big, massive breaking story, there's no way that this writer leads with Jorginho for his article. It doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. I guess the only positive that his articles brought is that, yeah, it does make for a pretty good title for videos, but on that point, you guys, there's nothing new at this point in time, and when there's substantial information, you guys know where to hear it on Blue Lions TV. And on that note, you guys, I'm gonna wrap things up and keep things moving. I hope you guys enjoyed. There is gonna be more videos coming out today. It's match day, big things to happen, and let's pray for that win against Crystal Palace. I'm EFC, this is Blue Lions TV. I'll see you guys later with some more videos.